Hello, it's Enulmer, and sorry it's been a while with this guy. Um, and I'm sorry about, I don't know if this is blurry. To me, the camera looks blurry right now, but I think when I post this stuff, it comes out clear, but I don't know. But um, I finished this guy probably around October last year, maybe November. I can't remember, but it's basically been sitting around, and I just haven't really known what to do. And then Figure Realm did a contest, so I figured I'd enter it, and so I just kind of left it on my shelf until I was ready to take pictures and whatnot. And didn't think I was gonna come in dead last in the contest, but well, whatever. Um, he uh, he does stand on his own, but I keep him on here at all times because his legs are pretty flimsy and weak. I wouldn't trust him to be standing on the shelf for more than a day or two. But he is fully articulated, but the articulation, it only did so much movement in the first place. Um, and the legs, I mean, they only click 3 times. One of them clicks 4. He gives them a fuck up, but um, anyways, um, if you didn't see it, I chopped these and extended them. I put big balls of foil down here, and probably one of the things I shouldn't have done is I sculpted the bottom of the feet without making sure that they were nice and sturdy and straight. And now he kind of stands like an asshole. So, anyways, so this is what the guys are gonna look like once we get the tower going. I don't know when I'll do that, but I'll probably get to it eventually. But this is about. And then this is the giant fucking. This is one of the big figures that Toy Biz put out, the tree beard, and that's about what he'd be like next to him. Even though I think these guys, even he's like fucking probably that tall. But these guys would be pretty freaking big, probably the size of a fucking big ass dog. I guess he's already bigger than most dogs. But yeah, fucking the head turns. It also goes up and down, but I wouldn't, trust that too much. It's a little freaky. Jaw moves, the ears. So this is a Rancor shoulder. I don't think this is gonna last very long. It's already pulling it down pretty good. It's pretty heavy. But that's a Rancor, not the shoulder, but it was his bicep articulation. And this here is his ball joint shoulder, which it's probably going to break too. It's taking a lot of fucking stress. These are Hulk hands, and this is the Rancor jaw, and I split it down the middle and then remade it, and it didn't really work, but I used a fuck ton of tension in there while I was making it, and it does hold up, at least, because before it was flopping like a mother. So, and then this is my old Spider-Man, 18-inch movie Spider-Man neck, and again I tried, there's a spring in there, and I tried really fucking hard to tighten that up, and modified some freaking washers and shit, and it just didn't work. But I mean, it is definitely tighter than it would have been, but it it has a cool little movement. It would have been cool to do like a pretty fully articulated trunk, but I didn't know if this thing was going to work or not, so I didn't want to put that much articulation into it. Yeah, sacrifice a lot of toys for that shit. And as of right now, most of this was just leftover parts. And then, so, put a big fucking heavy-duty wire thing. I don't know, it was like from some fake plant that we were throwing away. But it was nice and sturdy. But that's what I used for the long tusks. And the reason why they're so fucking lumpy looking is I used green stuff all the way up to about here, and I just went really, really thin, and I didn't want, because I didn't have very much of it, and obviously I didn't have enough to do the whole thing, so the rest of it's magic sculpt. But that way he can take a little punishment without fucking breaking right away. With the paint design, I ended up just doing the one that was on his trunk over again, because I didn't want to do the crazy fucking words or whatever that's going down the side of his arms. whatever the hell, too much. But and then here's his butt. That's the Johnny arm and shoulder. So make sure we're looking good on that. All right, but yeah, that's the Johnny arm, and just figured I'd make his tail super articulated compared to everything else. But hey, let's see this fucking guy in action, right? Let's see some fucking war, some orc death. Looks like he works pretty good. Well, that's the that's my fucking Mumakil for you. So, you know, tell me what you guys think in the comments below or whatever. Okay, let me take this off and let's see here. Get in some fucking close-up shots. I mean, he's slightly goofy looking. I didn't really explain that. Right after I made that video, well, actually, while I was making that first video, I was pretty freaking wasted, and I kept fucking around. And if you watch, I have all that clay rolled out, and that's the clay I used for the torso. And well, I said he fucking stands on his own. I should at least prove it. But yeah, I was a little wasted, and fucking I sculpted this thing and it looked like shit. So it sat on the shelf forever. And then finally I was like, well, fuck it. I'll start putting his head together and see what it looks like. And once the foil and everything, you know, you start getting the shape of the head, it was just like, oh man, it's kind of coming together. So then I just blasted out his arms, which, you know, because of that, I made his feet really fucking shitty, and I didn't make them flat, so he doesn't see, look at the ones floating. But whatever. But sure, I could have put, I was thinking about putting a little dick on him, but you know, they don't have that in the movie, so fuck it. We'll just leave him toy appropriate. But yeah, that's him. So thank you very much.